What's up, everybody? I'm Fem Bison, and I'll be casting the second block of NASL today with Combo here.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Yeah, super excited to finally be back here after last week. Last week we had a funny interaction here with Mystic playing on stream first, which I believe you were casting his set, and then he hopped on the cast right after. Now here we are, where Mystic casted. I was the one casting Mystic last week. Now Mystic's gonna be casting previously and hopping right back onto stream with you casting his set yet again.
It's like Mystic is personally blessing me by playing for me. You know, I'm
and Mystic blessed me by being able to cast alongside me last week, so I'm happy to be getting both sides of the coin this time around.
We're absolutely both of us are winning, and we're going to be getting into a pretty interesting match here today. I think 3 of the teams in this block are pretty much guaranteed to be playing in the relegation tournament. So this very first matchup is one for pride. They don't really have much to lose in the way of standings. Comeback Kings and PP Legends, both of them are guaranteed to play in relegation. So we'll see if that actually affects their play at all. If the stakes are lower, maybe they'll play better or worse. Who knows?
I'm not entirely sure, but I believe there is supposed to be a matchup between like the top 3 and bottom 3 teams for relegation, right? So maybe there's some seeding changes that will happen depending on where you place within the bottom 3. But other than that, yeah, they're both, more like fan favorites, kind of fighting for a position to show off whatever they can at this point. Because but all the matches I've seen of both CBK and PPL, I've seen always everyone getting hyped for everyone popping off for them. So many like well-known players, and people always there to hype up their homies. And that's a great, huge part of these streams and everything to do with Omega Strikers. But unfortunately, after all these weeks here towards the end of the season, we do see them at the bottom 3 spots for both of them. I'm still excited. I'm kind of thinking that, when you've got both people kind of back to the corner in a sense where it feels like it's a little bit more up in the air of how much you really need to try, you might see some really funny interactions. And that's exactly what I'm here for. That's exactly what I signed up for. So I'm super excited myself.
Absolutely. That's the same thought process I'm sort of having. I mean, as you said, they're both backed into a corner. So we might see some more, interesting play, something you might not see at a very top level kind of thing usually, right? Because they have much less to play for, so they can get away with a lot more. And we're going to see the picks and bans coming out now. It's Imi's up, of course. Rasmus already hovered for a ban. Really not trying to get fished too many times, I imagine.
Not trying to handshake the Rasmus mirror. Oh, well, it is what it is. So, we're going to see Maddie hop right back over to the Estelle like we saw last week. There was the Kai hover, but the Kai did end up getting banned out. Fiery still sticking to the Juliet we saw last week. They were putting in mad work. A huge part of the hope of PP Legends was riding on the Maddie and Fiery combo from last week, especially when Maddie started picking up Adrenaline Rush as goalie and having to have their third player pivot off into goalie while Maddie wanted to play forward when they had Adrenaline Rush puck and then go back into goalie box when it's over. Really funny combination. I hope we get to see something like that again. And all the character selections have been made here. We got Mystic on the Imi like we saw last week as well. Double on the Juliet and Daft Brass on the Estelle as well. This is gonna be quite the match.
Absolutely. A bit of the Estelle goalie mirror, pretty interesting. Both goalies having pretty decent map presence and damage, though obviously those long cooldowns could come and find them in some predictable, some punishing situations in the future. And a barrier is going to go down immediately for the PP Legends. Some good offense coming out from Comeback Kings. Mystic throws at the glitch pop, doesn't find the core control. Daftgrass looking to get a clear, but Wook is right there. The blink goes out, and it's going to be Fiery taking the barrier for PP Legends.
Yeah, that was a great wall placement there to keep the core aggressive on the right side. Eventually opening up that barrier. We're going to have the Crystal Thorns come out here from Daftgrass, trying to pass them between Mystic and Double to make a play here. Fiery insanely up front. Daftgrass just barely able to save it. Fiery, oh my goodness, such a dangerous player. Dangerous character, but there's going to be KO out here onto Wook. And the rune is down. Mystic is looking for a score here. Turret is going to be up. Fiery trying to fight the turret. Straight same angle. Doesn't matter. Mystic is up even with core flip. So that core flip potential could have been there too. Mystic didn't need it. He's going to take that first point here on the side of the Comeback Kings.
Absolutely incredible play. And actually, I think if you just saw, meters went up for both teams there. I think this might be a fire-up start. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see who can capitalize off of that. Finding KOs is suddenly going to become a huge part of this game, more than it usually is on this map, because getting that, punishing people for having meter is going to be very important. And just as I say it, Fiery gets a kill, and the pressure is on. Wook and Fiery passing plays. Fiery can't find the strike to pocket the shot. Mystic with the glitch pop trying to find the clear, not quite. Daftgrass holding on well though. The pillar not right where it needs to be. The turret goes out to find the clear, they do.
That's right, Maddie's trying to zone out here with Crystal Thorns, trying to keep the core towards the center of the stage. Wook is trying to here to pick it up, trying to pass up to Fire and Brave, secure that score, but thankfully Mystic and Double are kind of playing that midfield forward as well and stopping any sort of aggression that Fiery may have. Daftgrass is particularly not too worried about Fiery, it seems like. The flurry's going to come out. Great defense here from Daftgrass as well. Yeah, not a lot of damage pressure from Fiery onto Daftgrass, and without that KO pressure, the goalie lane to sit pretty. Oh my goodness, Maddie was on the right spot there. That's tough. Maddie pushed up really far there, trying to see if they can secure that kind of 2v3 against the opposing forwards, but that's the risk you have to take. You leave your own goal open. But yeah, I was talking about Fiery and kind of how these like really hard forwards sometimes have insane goalie presence, and that really scares off these goalies. That KO presence and the amount of damage they take makes them a lot worse at actually going to defend the goal. But oh my goodness, I was trying to analyze last round. They scored another point.
And, you know, something to point out there, look at how many core flips went off. I mean, we all know about the Fire upstart. As soon as that Awakening got added, we could sort of see how that was going to go. I mean, the meter generation right now is insane, and it just proved a little punishing for PP Legends, positioning the core right where it needed to get pocketed. Mystic's going to manage to get prime time. Actually, neglecting the Timeless Creator in favor of prime time is interesting to me, but having that extra glitch pop definitely gives him more control and more pressure in the midfield. The Timeless for Wook, though, going to be a pretty big deal. Those pillars going to be a lot more effective than usual.
We're also seeing a quick strike here on the side of Fiery, trying to take those strike duels up near the front, up against the opposing goalie. It could be absolutely massive. We're going to see us starting off here with the next round. Well, hopefully we can see adaptations here from Maddie, specifically try to play a little more defensively and keep their barrier and their goal protected. But Maddie, again, walking up forward, want to play this 2v2. They do have advantage. It's not a bad play necessarily. You always have to be careful. Piercing shot's going to whiff here. Able to catch Double's retaliation. Finally, Wook is back up. Let's see if they can make something happen.
Fiery and Wook pushing up, just find some opportunities here, looking for a pass, but covered by Mystic and Double pretty well here. Both teams sort of even on meter and KOs right now. They've been finding similar kill timing, similar punishes and whatnot. Oh, the banish goes out from Wook, and the pillar almost catches Mystic, burns his flip, but he's able to survive. The flip goes out from Maddie. I mean, flips are just going out everywhere right now. Fire meter generation is, in fact, just a little bit crazy. Fiery about to get a flip of his own. We're going to see if that can be used to capitalize for some offensive advantage, the speed boost for his team, plus, you know, just the presence of a core flip. Wook also, with the flip up, Fiery's going to flip.
There it is, finally. PP Legends able to secure themselves a point with a double core flip from Wook over to Fiery, right up in their face. Great stuff here. How are we going to open up this next round? How are they going to carry momentum? Let's see if they can make it happen. Pillar's going to drop. They're bouncing off the IME app core. And, okay, it's just kind of chilling. The Banish is going to keep Daftgrass locked down for a bit. Piercing shot here, try to keep it forward. Fiery trying to secure this berry. The flurry's going to go out. A bit of damage here on a double, but relatively people are kind of unfazed. Fiery's presence hasn't been as strong and commanding as we would like to see. Maddie, again, playing up really far. Does have a speed boost and does also have core flip just in case the goal barrier is open. We have the Rose Warp in and the attempted core flip here from Maddie. It's not enough to secure. There's the piercing shot. Trying to pass over to Wook, but Mystic's playing up. There's the core flip, gets the barrier. Back to Daftgrass. Daftgrass also has core flip up and available. Mystic trying to glitch pop, maybe pass it in, get some funny angles. The Banish is out here on the double. That defensive utility is really nice. And the double KO is massive. And we're going to pick up that score here from Fiery. Great stuff here from the PP Legends.
Absolutely insane play from Fiery right there, finding that opportunistic double KO core flip goal. Just Fiery really firing up, as the starting Awakening might suggest. And he's also looking for some more kills on double. The special goes out. Both Juliet's down in the special right now. And Fiery punishes double for positioning just a little too close to the hole. Also going to find the barrier. Daftgrass on his back leg right now. That pillar from Wook doing work. The Timeless really putting that pressure on, but they're going to manage to find the clear with the use of the IB turret. The glitch pop goes out. Maddie, as you said, you know, he's like to push. He's enjoying the pushing up playstyle more. Something out of Yisha's book, and it's going to work out. The flip pass right into another core flip to score. I mean, not much you can do there if you're Daftgrass. Just really unfortunate.
The new with all the new Awakenings from this recent patch, the centering play around energy generation and manipulation has been absolutely huge. We saw that exact combo of core flip pass into Fiery's core flip in the goalie's face to secure a point twice. And that single set right there. And it worked both times. It's such a confident, such a strong strategy. We have an egoist pickup here coming off on the side of Fiery. That's going to be absolutely massive since we see how much they love using both the elusive and primarily the core flip. And having that to push aggressively afterwards is going to be huge.
Absolutely. And something else to note about Ego is when you've got that flip up, you're a target for getting killed because it means you're going to burn more meter trying to evade. So having that speed to just dodge those abilities is going to be huge for Fiery, especially him playing in the brawler position. He's always sort of like tanking damage or dealing damage, right? That speed is going to be huge. And just as I talk about taking damage, Fiery gets staggered, but he's going to be able to pick up the orb and be mostly okay.
No worries, because Wook's got 2 pillars to play, basically 4th and 5th teammate, honestly, at the time. Fiery is going to go down, though, and pillars are also down. They're going to have to fight this 2v3. You can see Daftgrass finally pushing up because they do have the advantage here. Pillar to block off the barrier, so perfectly placed here from Wook. Enough stalling to get Fiery right back on the board. Piercing shot to keep it low. Wook taking a bunch of damage, but they're going to pick up a KO onto double in response. The Crystal Thorns are going to miss because of the core flip. Imi Turret is also out and available. Mystic doing a great job of playing this 1v3 right now. Daftgrass trying to play up this midfield a little bit to support. We do have Fiery's core flip available, though. Core flip pass here from Wook. Oh, no, the bait. He's going to keep it stalled as Fiery's going to go down. Crystal Thorn to push it forward. Maddie is still playing up despite the 2v3. Oh, no, hitting it into their own pillar. And Double walked up really far, knowing that once the core is over here, I need to secure this barrier. But it wasn't enough. Great defensive play here from both Maddie and Wook as Fiery's back on the field.
I mean, that was absolute work from Wook's timeless pillar there. Blocked 3 shots on its own before it ever got to Maddie. They're going to manage to find the clear out of all of this pressure. It was a bit hairy for a second there. But now Double and Mystic both have core flip up. Fiery looking to punish, but Mystic living on a prayer right now. Able to keep his flip and looking to use it for some offensive pressure. Good reactions from Maddie, though, saves the barrier. Double having to burn his flip to avoid dying. Double and Fiery both kind of in the danger zone with the health bar, but what a snipe from Daftgrass doesn't matter. The pillar not quite where it needs to be. Put some extra pressure on Maddie and Wook, but Maddie absolutely defensive legend right now. And it looks like they're going to go back to a little bit of midfield boxing here. Both teams have their barriers down, and it's dangerous for both slots. But the flip goes out from Daftgrass looking for a shot, doesn't quite find it. Mystic looks for one of his own. Unfortunate angle there, not quite where he needed to place that. And Fiery's going to flip kill Daftgrass and score. What a dunk from Fiery.
He did not need to core flip there, honestly. Once you get the KO on the goalie, the core is right in front of you with both the forwards kind of closer to midfield. It's over. But, I guess it's just those instant reactions, that adrenaline, whatever it is. You got to press that core flip button, secure that goal. And finally, that first point here from this next set is going to be going over to the PP Legends. That last round was incredibly close. After both barriers went down especially, Maddie's defensive play was incredible. But of course, Maddie also loves playing as a third forward sometimes, walking up with that Crystal Thorns. Yet again, we're going to have Mystic pop in with the blink there, and Double is there to follow up as well. They're going to pick up this next point there. See, this is the risk-reward game that Maddie seems to love playing. Whether it's walking up or trying to secure a score early, or walking up and getting scored on early because you're not there to defend your own goal. But Fiery and Maddie both have core flip up yet again. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going for a similar combo this time around to try to pass it up. But okay, we got 1 KO picked up here. Maddie's going to defend, gets the barrier. Here's the Fiery core flip, trying to wait for the barrier to open up. It was just a little slow, but Wook was in the right place at the right time. Fantastic positioning, and had core flip to back up to get this next point here for PP Legends.
That was a great needle-threading pass from Fiery to Wook right there, just tapping it in for a second goal for PP Legends, up 2-1 in the 1-1 set. And it's, something you mentioned about Maddie. It might actually be because of his character choice. I don't know. I've seen him play, more in ranked when his Kai is not getting permabanned, right? And he's more of a defensive player there. So maybe he likes to turn it into a shootout when he's got a character like Estelle, those long cooldowns. She's not going to be as solid on defense when she needs those abilities up. So maybe using those abilities for pressure might be more valuable in his eyes. And just as I'm saying it, he's pushing up, he's burning the, the Crystal Thorns, the piercing shot. He's looking for those opportunities. Maddie gonna find the pass to Fiery, but Mystic is just covering so well in this bottom side of the midfield. Wook finally able to take it up top. The pillar goes out inches away from barrier there. Daftgrass, well-placed blink, making the save. The Luna Evo goes out. He wasn't super confident, but now looks like he's back to being pretty solid on the defensive line. They're going to be able to find the kill on Mystic, and we're going to see if it's going to net them a barrier. It does. Fiery has the flip. He's looking to catch. Doesn't quite find it, but he managed to keep the core upfield. Unfortunately, doubles right there to hit it right back up. Wook with his own flip, and Fiery with a KO, perfectly timed to take the second set 3-1.
That's absolutely huge here for PP Legends. I'm loving seeing PP Legends come alive here. They're really feeling their synergy a little bit more now. They kind of woke up, you know? They don't have the adrenaline rush, you know, waking anymore, but it felt like it finally activated. After a couple KOs, after a couple points, they finally lined up. They know exactly what they need to do. I think playing around energy has been absolutely massive for these guys. They love their core flips. And finally, Fire's also been getting a lot of those goalie KOs that was missing in that very first set where they weren't able to score a single point. So happy to see Fiery finally put themselves on the stage and making something happen.
This draft is actually going to be huge. Multiple characters having some big opportunities here. Fiery getting the Catalyst. He has Energy Exodia. I mean, he's going to be able to have that flip up so often. And, you know, the speed boost, the extra meter generation for his team. Maddie having to take built different denying double. But size is always pretty solid on a goalie. You know, goalie is a role that needs you to be there for strikes. And of course, can't forget about the Wook getting cast to last. That Banish now doing so much more damage. We're going to see if he can find a kill on double. The Banish doesn't, but Fiery is going to find a kill on double, and Wook is going to finish Mystic off in the middle of the map. Fiery already has flip up. I mean, Energy Exodia. Davgrass just standing still. He knows exactly what's coming.
Oh my goodness. After Wook picks up the double KO, they immediately pop that barrier. Davgrass cannot play this 1v3 because you know Maddie's also walking up to play the third forward right then and there. And of course, Fiery already has core flip to drop it. That's an incredible round. That's literally an ideal round here for PP Legends. Let's see if they can make something like that happen again, as both Wook and Maddie have core flip up. Wook is going to use it to catch here, pass over to Fiery. Almost picks up the gold berry, but not quite enough. Maddie's going to walk up, throw out the Crystal Thorns. We have the Mystic Blink here, and the Ime turret going down. Not going to be enough to pop the gold berry, though. Fiery by himself. Doesn't matter. Still able to get the gold berry. 1v3 Banish is going to go out, and we have the perfectly placed oh my goodness, my brain just blew up right there. The tower's there from Rune, and then Maddie's going to walk up and score because, of course, the third forward always has to be there when the points are on the table. That's incredible.
Absolutely. I just want to point out, Fiery burn flip at the end of that last round. Like, he has near full meter again. And of course, he flipped on the first round too, and he had it again in that second point. The Energy Exodia is absolutely massive right now, both for Fiery himself and the rest of his team, but it's looking like it's not going to matter for this win, at least. I mean, they're going to find the kill on Maddie early, and that Ime turret, not much you can do as, two not super defensive characters, though obviously Rune has the pillars. They're going to, Comeback Kings able to get a little bit of momentum back, find the point. But Maddie holding well, some not super light pressure for Comeback Kings. The banishes go out, finds two. Can they find the kills on Mystic and double? Ooh. Davgrass clears behind. Incredible defensive play. It's not going to matter, though, but Fiery is going to die and get punished for scoring that.
This is an interesting trade because both Wook and Fiery had their core flip up, so everyone kind of knew what the plan was going to be from both sides of the team, right? So they gave up their goal barrier to pick up the KO on Fiery, and while they're able to do it, they're now able to focus down Wook, and now Wook went down as well. So it's Maddie and Fiery / Maddie and Wook trying to fight this 2v3 constantly, and they're going to have to burn their resources to keep themselves alive. And by the time they're back here for this 3v3, both Wook and Fiery are missing their, well, actually, maybe not Fiery, because Fiery already has core flip all the way back up. The glitch pop to try and save, but it doesn't matter when Fire's just going to walk up and use core flip yet again. I was thinking, right here, Comeback Kings just playing an incredible long game to try and drain them of the resources, so when they're fighting the 3v3 again, they win. Right, they had it down. But it doesn't matter if you have Energy Exodia on Fiery, we can just walk up and get core flip again anyway. It never mattered. And he was able to get exactly what he wanted and finish off this first game in the favor of the PP Legends.
Absolutely, and I mean, PP Legends put up a very great performance there, but also Energy Exodia definitely the final nail in the coffin. Fire up start into Egoist for Fiery, into Infinite Catalyst. I mean, I'm Comeback Kings. I don't even know what to. If I'm on that team, I'm absolutely fuming because what do you do in that situation? Fiery getting the energy generation not only gives him more flips, but also because every time you flip with Fire Up, you give your team 30% meter back. It's just, your whole team is constantly having meter up. We're constantly getting core flips. Not much you can do when the core is just it's on fire. It's light speed. You have to react on defense so well, and it just so unfair, honestly.
It is super rough to play that. Already, Fiery is a very aggressive player naturally. With Juliet, you want to be sitting in the opposing goalie box and punching them or punching the other forwards or punching the core. And eventually someone or something will blow up or score one way or another. But without that effective damage output in that first set, where Comeback Kings is able to secure that set pretty confidently with a 3-0 when it came to points. It really felt like Fiery's impact in particular and Maddie's decision-making wanting to play offense versus wanting to play defense was a little bit scuffed, and that kind of made things a lot easier for Comeback Kings. But the moment that both those players kind of figured out what they wanted to be doing and how to do it, it was so hard for Comeback Kings to really make themselves play. I mean, we had fantastic offensive play, especially I want to shout out Mystics midfielding play with the IME with so many well-placed blanks and so many well-placed turrets in particular. The turret pressure has been so hard. And Fiery sometimes didn't even care. We're just hitting the core right back into the turret like multiple times. Because Fiery just wants to hold forward and get that core in all the way as hard as you can, no matter what. So I love watching those interactions. But Mystic especially did a great job of playing that midfield. It wasn't quite enough this time around. Let's see if the Awakening draft, because I think the Awakening draft was a really big thing. It was one, of course, big thing was PP Legends finally waking up and solidifying their game plan. But of course, the Awakening draft was also huge. So let's see how we can turn things around for the second game. I'm super excited because, as someone in chat said, the Comeback Kings might come back.
Absolutely. I mean, it's Omega Strikers, as we know. Things just change up all the time, not only just, between games, but even in a game. Comeback Kings definitely looking to mount a comeback here, but also if PP Legends wins this match, this will be their first and I think only win possible for them in NASL, at least for the time being. And they're down 0-5 in the standings. I think for really they're playing for everything here. They're playing for pride. When you're down 0-5, I mean, you cannot finish the season 0-6. So absolutely, it's they're if anything, you were talking about backed into corner earlier. They're absolutely the most backed into corner team possible right now, and we're going to see if Comeback Kings can rise to the occasion. And something interesting I wanted to point out, because you were talking about Maddie and Fiery. It's pretty interesting how actually it's almost like Wook is kind of the backbone of PP Legends rather than Maddie, which is usually goalies are usually the backbone of a team. And of course, Maddie's playing excellent defensively, but Wook good core control is enabling the plays from both Fiery and Maddie, letting Maddie push up, letting Fiery get those goalie KOs, those, those insane shots, those scores. It's really Wook being the catalyst for everything else that goes on PP Legends. That's kind of an interesting team play style because it's really different from most other teams.
Yeah, Wook's kind of the unsung hero here, where it feels like they're playing this defensive midfielder that can try and pivot roles whenever needed, because Maddie just wants to run up and be the third forward again and again and again. And so having those pillars, having that banish to help kind of slow down momentum or reposition, at like a moment's notice, really helps a lot for kind of this team composition and positioning. We're seeing Maddie highlight the Kai again. And as you mentioned, how Maddie plays a little bit differently when playing on ranked on Kai. I'd love to see how the team dynamic changes if you don't give Kai to Maddie. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Comeback Kings wants this to happen. They're okay with the Estelle. They're okay with the aggressive sniper Maddie playing up front, trying to Crystal Thorns every other second. That's fine. The Kai is going to go down. And we're going to see the Rasmus is also banned out again. This time we're on Atten City. This is going to be a fun map to see how things go. But we're going to be seeing the rune selection coming from the side of Comeback Kings this time around. We're going to be seeing a different team composition. I'm excited to see how that changes everything.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think Maddie's Kai was kind of doomed on this map in particular. I mean, I talked about this last week, but Kai is pretty much like the best goalie on this map, bar none. He's the only person who can really hold that barrier super well. Estelle actually not too bad at it when she has her cooldowns up, but as we know, Estelle has those year-long cooldowns. And we're going to see Daftcraft actually pull out the rune goalie. Interesting choice. A bit of a hard goalie to pull off well, but if anybody could do it, Daftcraft would definitely be one of the players. He's a bit of a defensive powerhouse. The kickoff's going to go off, double on the Zentaro and Mystic on the IME once again. They're looking to apply some pressure on this barrier. Super fragile. We're going to see if they can find it. Fiery with a dash punch. Not quite enough. Daftcraft with a good teleport to put that pillar up and block the shot.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Zentaro forward. I'm a big fan of the character myself. I love the offensiveness and all the blinks and dashes this character gets. Absolutely wild, especially dueling the goalie. So many crazy things that Zentaro can do. But right now, we're trying to push it forward onto Fiery. Fiery had almost a great position, but just got hit out of it, unfortunately, very last second. Almost picking up this KO on Daftcraft to stand alive. Going to get banished for it to not let Fiery have any offensive presence. But in that time, he wasn't able to defend. Wook was able to sneak in a goal. That's this moment-to-moment split-second decision-making goalie has to make right there, right? right? You have resources. Where do I dedicate to using them, right? Fiery seems to be the very obvious, immediate threat up right in your face, in your goal all the time, but Wook was able to sneak in a score, so gotta be careful how you play this one out. That enemy turret and the gold barrier gonna go down. This is looking pretty good for Comeback Kings right off the bat here. We have the Zentaro special into the passive proc. Wasn't enough to score, but it was very close. Mystic does have Core Flip available. Daftgrass also walking up since they do have gold barrier and Core Flip as well. Matt is going to defensively throw at that Core Flip. We're going to have Daftgrass try to push it up, but the flurry from Fiery is going to block it. Piercing shot, not quite enough. We have huge pillars. Fiery's going to pick up a KO here onto double. Can they make something happen?
On life support, but he's going to be able to pick up the Orb. Aten City, as you know, spawns 6 orbs. No shortage of healing for him. And it looks like they're not going to be able to capitalize on this 2v3 just yet. Daftgrass is going to be able to hold that fragile barrier with the help of Mystic. Double comes back up. Double also managing to find the kill on Fiery, punishing Fiery for getting just a little bit too aggressive. Mystic dribbling the core, waiting. Stalling a little bit, probably for cooldowns, because, you know, stalling for Fiery, definitely not a move Comeback Kings wants to be doing right now. The pillar goes up from Daftgrass. Good defense there, good reactions. Fiery and Wook putting the pressure back on. I mean, there's such a strong forward duo. A little underrated, I think, and the shot almost goes up from Maddie. Not quite enough. What a banish from Daftgrass to stop the core. Almost finds the punish on Maddie for being a little too aggressive, but not quite. Maddie's got the flip up. Is he going to look to use it offensively? And it looks like he might look at how he's positioned. Actually, he walks back, forced to use the flip to save the core. Mystic with the glitch pop. Going to be able to find the goal, and Double actually also just on the side finding a kill on Fiery there.
Yeah, throwing out the special right there to stall the core just a little bit and pick up a KO to get that finisher off the glitch pop. But already had so much momentum built up. That was a crazy score. Maddie also really close to saving it too. But just a little too much of an angle. It was, oh my goodness, what an interaction. Now, Wook is going to walk up here, does have Core Flip. I love how the Rune players, if either one vanishes, they can both throw their pillars up to immediately impact where the core is going to go. And, you know, Rune would do that on their own if they're just the only one on the map. But now they're both here for both teams. I really want to see a vanish into 2 pillars. But Ryan, don't need to see that right now, since Fire's just going to walk up and throw a punch, throw a dash with the Flying Phoenix, and pick up this next point here over Daftgrass.
Fiery has really just been, you know, on fire today, as I said before. But it's just like his scoring consistency, his kill consistency, it's absolutely phenomenal right now. He put up a dominant performance last match, and it looks like it's not changing for this one. Both pillars go up. But unfortunately, Daftgrass throws the pillar first, so he loses sort of the 50-50 there. Double's flip goes up, but great pillar from Wook. Right there, good defense, and you know, we were talking about this Wook, very defensive midfielding playstyle, absolutely able to sort of rotate positions whenever needed and allow for Maddie to get those offensive plays. And Wook, as I say, Wook is just right back looking to score those teleports. I mean, he's everywhere right now. He's looking to put some pressure up again. The pillar goes out. Daftgrass a little bit smarter though, and Double is going to look to use the abilities to score. Can't quite find the angle he needs. Wook on life support. If they can find a KO on him, it might be over for PP Legends for this point. Double definitely thinking the same thing as I am right now. Mystic playing some defense right now, but Double just playing real far up, looking for the kill on Wook. Not going to be able to find it though. Wook's still staggered, but he manages to heal just before getting hit again. Fiery with the core flip up. Can they use that to score? But PPL on the back leg right now, actually. Mystic and Double putting on the good pressure.
Yeah, Wook is staggered yet again. Fire's going to end up burning the core flip there. That was a big part of how they wanted to secure this next point. Still, this round has been going on forever. These two have been neck and neck. Look at these crazy placed pillars. And the elusive is going to be popped here to stop the Zentaro special from KOing Wook, but it's not going to be enough. And Maddie is going to go down. Double BO3 again has the Zentaro passive up as well, so that was there to help secure the point if it wasn't enough already, but Wook was staggered. So many resources were burned right there just to tie it up, and now it's on the last point of this first set, but everyone's getting their cooldowns back so quickly. This Imi turret isn't going to be gone, you know, forever, and Maddie's going to have stuff right back up too. Core flip screen back everywhere. It seemed like a lot was going to go down in that last round, but I really think this 5th point is going to be everything for both these teams right now.
Absolutely, but you know, speaking of everything, they trade a player and a barrier. Comeback Kings up a player, but Maddie able to hold onto that fragile Aten barrier. We're gonna see if that makes a difference later. The pressure is definitely on for Daftgrass right now, though he does have the flip to assist on defense. Fiery already staggered the Mystic Imi turret going out. Manu start paying off a little bit here for Daftgrass and Mystic, just getting those, you know, large creations, those harder hitting creations. Wook, surprisingly, Wook hasn't found advantage kill yet, but then again, it is Aten. So much distance to cover every time you're trying to look for a kill. And just as I say, he looks for one, but it's just not going to be enough. The flip goes out from Daftgrass. Can he find the barrier? Maddie's right where he needs to be. So is Double. winning that strike war. We're going to see if who's going to score first while both teams have their barriers open. Dangerous position, and it looks like the Ivy turret is going to secure it. Good play from Mystic. Looked slightly out of position there.
Yeah, the Comeback Kings. That's right. They're sliding by here on that first set. The execution of that last play was amazing. Throwing out their specials, covering space, and having that last Ivy turret really line up and take care of the goal when no one else could. But let's see what Zentaro is going to open up right here. We have Infinite Prime Time. We already got 2 highlights on here. One from Estelle. There it is. You're going to see Maddie on the Prime Time. And, of course, we'll also be getting Brew the Pillars. Everyone's going to love to see that. Zentaro still hasn't made a selection yet from Double. We have Timeless Creator. That's going to be big here for I believe Glitch Pop and the turret right on Mystic.
Glitch Pop isn't a creation, actually. Glitch Pop, I think, is just a projectile. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Oh, there'll be still the turret's going to be massive. Okay, we did see Double end up picking something in the
tempo
end.
Swing.
Yeah, Tempo Swing. That's right. That's
that
right.
extra damage is going to be pretty big, though, stacking with the wand, of course. You know, Zentaro gets a lot of hits, and every single one of those hits is going to be doing just a little bit more damage. Mystic with the Timeless, I'm surprised Wolf didn't look to deny there. Having that, you know, massive turret, also just so many hits on it. Going to be dangerous on the offensive side, but right now Mystic is in a bit of danger of his own. So is Fiery, both on life support staggered. The pillar goes out from Wook, looking to find a, you know, just defend the clear almost, but they're going to be able to find the kill on Fiery and get the clear. Double has the flip up. We're going to see if he looks to use it for the barrier or if he's going to hold it for the goal later. Mystic looking to get some midfield control right now, but Maddie is just, you know, preempting every situation. We're going to see if that bites him a little bit later, though, as he's not going to have the cooldowns up to stop stuff. And I mean, what a parry from Wook on the core flip.
Oh, and Fiery's to go down yet again. They're going to be losing a lot of the offensive pressure. Maddie is going to have the core flip up, goes right back to Daftgrass, pass it to himself in his own goal. There's the piercing shot. They just have to wait for Fire to get back up. I do see why Wook would want to prioritize prime time just to have a lot of these turrets out and available for you on the map is such a big part of Rune's game plan. But despite that, how much Mystic benefits from having turret up is so massive. There's all these pillars up. Fiery finally in the right place at the right time, able to secure this next point. But that round went on forever. I'm already exhausted.
Absolutely. I mean, all of these points have been like years long. I think that's just a symptom of Aten City. There's just so much space to play for. We're not going to see the immediate benefit of Mystic's Timeless Monu turret just yet. And, you know, just as I'm saying, a Fire is actually going to find a barrier and a goal, and he's going to have meter up for the next round. PP Legends, you know, back into, coming back in dominant fashion like they did in that first match. Fiery, once again, being the playmaker for his team. We're going to see if he can use that flip to capitalize and make yet another Wook, also a core flip up. But I mean, that tempo swing siphoning on Zentaro, the damage is huge. Fiery, both teams use a flip to get a barrier. Both teams still have one flip. It's going to be the midfielders who decide this one right now, and Mystic's flip gets burned trying to stop Wooks, but Daftgrass is right where he needs to be. Great coverage from him. Double's going to manage to find the kill there on Fiery, and also the goal. Maddie just a little bit too late to save that
Maddie
one.
trying to get the snipe with the piercing shot to hopefully send it right back up at those angles and those little grooves towards the edge of the stage, but it wasn't enough, just a little too late. The angle's a little off, and Double's going to secure that after picking up so much kills. The kill presence, the damage presence now, especially with Tempo Swing, is huge here from Double. Actually be able to play up in the opposing goal and be a really big nuisance, and it doesn't help that Mystic's able to kind of blink in and make something happen too. Look at all this damage going on to Wook right now. Wook's almost staggered so quickly. We do have the special coming out as well. Passive is out. Wook is almost down here for the crack on the stagger. Fire's going to pick this KO onto Mystic in correspondence here with the barrier going down. They're going to have to play this 2v3, but since Wook is down, Wook can't play as offensive as he would like. There's the core flip. It's so easy for Fiery right now. Sometimes all you have to do is walk up for the core, bait a crazy mix-up, and then just secure it with a core flip, and that's going to be one set here. The next one coming in for PP Legends, keeping it competitive. One set apiece right now.
So as you were talking about, yeah, I mean, the 50-50 mix-up is just kind of... When you have core flip up, what are you doing as like the goalie, right? It's like, oh, well, I'm just getting scored on here. It's the ball's in the middle of the goal. I'm not reading this angle for anything. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Fire going to be able to get the build different, though. Pretty big, just as it's going to make Julie bigger. It's also going to give him more scoring opportunities, more damage. Big stuff for him. The stacks on stacks from Zentaro, pretty interesting choice, but he is getting a lot of hits. He's looking for that damage. Makes some sense. The spec training on Mystic, we're going to see if that turret will finally make a difference. Last set, he didn't get really much of an opportunity to use it.
Yeah, a big thing about the turret interaction, specifically against Rune, is that if the turret's kind of pushing the core in one direction, Rune can throw in a pillar right in the middle of the turret, and the cores can keep bouncing between the two permanently. And it kind of nullifies a lot of the offensive pressure that the turret would have normally. What a Crystal Thorn snipe! Maddie right up there as the third forward again. Yeah, you love to see it.
Yeah, that was just outside of Daft's strike range there, just a little bit unfortunate. Obviously, the angle of the map also sometimes makes it harder to see if your strike is going to hit when it's above you, just as it happened right there. Mystic and Double looking to put that pressure on, and they are going to be able to do it. Can they capitalize on this and find the goal? Double in position, gets the kill on Maddie and the score. That blink just a little bit unfortunate for Maddie right there. It's going to be 1-1 on the 1-1 set.
That was an incredible secondary right there from the Zentaro blink that it escorted the goal and got the goalie down as well. Perfect positioning, perfect timing. Double right in the right place at the right time. The positioning matters so much in trying to land so many of these perfect setups, whether it be for the barrier for KOs or for scores. So having that lined up is really good. Double throwing out the pass for here. Also has core flip available. Wook and Maddie taking so much damage. Double's getting away scot-free from all of this. The goal barrier is going to go down here on the side of Comeback Kings. The core flip's going to go up from Double, trying to pass it on, maybe potentially get a sneaky snipe. It's not going to be enough, though. Again, we're going to see Wook have to pop the elusive. But doesn't matter. Fire's keeping it close. Punches it in after the core flip stall. Didn't even need to kick it in normally, and secures this next point. There's a lot of focus pressure onto Wook that last round. Wook had to fight for his life to stay alive, and in during that, let Fiery kind of run around a little bit more and finally secure that final point.
Absolutely. I just want to say there, Built Different made all of the difference in getting that goal. Also, that turret was pretty dangerous for Mystic, and Mystic also getting the flip. But as I was saying, Built Different, just giving him the extra range, just that little bit he needed to get the extra contact on stunning Daftgrass. And Double, I mean, as you said, last point he scored, he was in the right place at the right time. This point he's scoring in the right place at the right time once again. Just wonderful positioning for him.
Yeah, you got Maddie, especially had to be watching the passive proc there right there. Since Double did have passive up, that's going to be kind of a really... That's a scary dash. They'll beat most kind of strike duels. So you got to wait till it's used. You got to stall it out a little bit before wanting to use something like Crystal Thorns, because Crystal Thorns is actually really solid defensively right there. But you have to get the angles down there. Great play there from Double. Maddie kind of took the bait just a little bit. Turret is going to be out there where we don't have Rune Pillar to block it this time around. Instead, Wook is going to core flip up offensively and pick up the goal barrier this time. Great flurry to stop the core flip from making it all the way through. We're going to have Maddie here, the baddest to take out two players. Fire almost picking up a KO. Daftgrass having to play the 2v1 just for a bit longer. Fiery and Wook are right up there trying to fight this 2v3. Double had to walk all the way back. You hate to see it when your prime forward has to walk all the way back to help defend your goal. But sometimes it is necessary. Now Double's carrying forward. Tries to get the blink to snipe it, but Rune Pillar's going to be there to defend. And there's the passive puck again as Double picks up this second set for the Comeback Kings.
These like actually nail biters, right? That was like multiple sets going to 2-2. PPL took that one, the last one pretty handedly, but this one, once again, it just right back to almost, it's like a cat fight. They're just trading back and forth. They're slinging at each other, they're scratching at each other.
That's right.
Zentaro going to be able to pick up the big fish. Pretty big draft for him. Having that extra size is going to allow him to get a lot more hits in with those abilities. Also giving him some more scoring pressure, just as Built Different did for Fiery. Hot
it helps
shot going out.
To get staggered too. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, we have the infinite hot shot coming out, and that's going to be huge for both these runes who are going to be dribbling between themselves and each other with all their pillars. The Zentaro combo, very much like well-deserved MVP there from Double. Those passive procs especially were huge. But now that he has stacks on stacks and also has Big Fish here, that extra stagger, although he wasn't really in threat of being KO'd anyway, stacks on stacks is going to keep on stacking because you get all these KOs, get all that bonus speed, and never going to die. It's absolutely massive. And right now, KO down here on Fiery. It's just Wook and Maddie against the world right now as the gold barrier is opened up. Mystic trying to land the snipe here. Maddie fighting for his life. Wook trying to play this defensive line just a little bit. Not a whole lot of pillars at the risk of potentially scoring on yourself, but it doesn't matter if Double's got the core flip. Great save here from Maddie. And now it's a little bit of offensive pressure here from the sides of PP. Let's just see if they can secure something, but no, they can't keep the core on their side of the map. Double's going to try to use the passive to score on, to dribble to himself and use the Iron to potentially secure it. Passive is back up, trying to push Fiery away. Glitch Pop almost secures that point. There's the blink. Wook does have core flip. Can he snipe it? Can he keep it away? Ooh, the piercing shot's going to miss too. There's a core flip. Angle, double core flip, and there's a triple one. Great defense here from Daftgrass to keep it alive. What is going to happen? I have absolutely no idea. There it is, the pillar from Wook secures it at the end of the day after all of that hassle, all that trouble, all the burning. Wook finally gets it.
Incredible play from both teams. I mean, Maddie holding on like a beast. Wook, of course, just an absolute powerhouse on the defensive assistance. Something interesting here to note is that Mystic, I think, adapting to the Estelle goalie just a bit. He was dribbling out of Estelle's piercing shot kind of perfectly there. Burned two of Maddie's cooldowns in that interaction. Unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize. PPL was able to score. But they're going to find the kill on Wook. That banish into Zentaro. I mean, not much you can do there. You're probably dead. Double gets the flip out, but he's not going to be able to find the barrier. Maddie still has one of his own just in case he needs to hold on just a little bit longer, but it looks like they're going to be able to stall out Wook's death timer. Fiery has been staggered for most of this point and the last, and they're finally going to kill him. Double on life support, but those pillars are going to prove dangerous for PPL. Can Daftgrass get the core up? Actually, Wook is going to get an incredible pillar up instead, find his own barrier. Both teams once again fighting on open goals. Double though, the special goes out. Not much you can do. Maddie has no evade. That's going to go right in.
The double, or rather the Zentaro special on the opposing goalie and core into passive activation combo is absolutely devastating. Almost a guaranteed goal every single time. In particular, it's you just got to be the right, you got to have it down, but the moment you do, it's almost over for the opposing core. There's really not a whole lot they can do. So dangerous. We're going to be hopping over to this next round. Daftgrass going to throw it to Banish early on. Bunch of damage coming to both Fiery and Wook, about less than half health. There's the core flips. Fiery is proper staggered now. And we're going to have double pillar to do so much damage, potentially pick up a cheeky KO, but it's not going to be enough. Just a lot of damage going out. Barrier is going to go down here on the side of the PP Legends. Trying to get this piercing shot into Rune Pillar to maybe combo. Oh, but the special is going to pick up this KO here on Fire. We're going to have the core flip just to keep the core alive and on the right side of the field. A bit of a Hail Mary of defensive play just to stall for long enough to bring Fiery back. But we have Mystic trying to go for this blink. Almost securing a double, almost picking it up. Great Rune Pillar here for defense just to line it up. But it doesn't matter when Double is dashing all the way around and throwing out the primary as well. A bit of AoE swings and slices to score in that next point. And now it's 1 point away for the Comeback Kings to take this second game. They're really, truly securing this comeback right now.
Absolutely. I think PPL really wants this, though. I mean, if they can get them, either way, they're avoiding the 0-6 record, but I think they want at least one win on their season record. Look, getting the banish, finding the damage on Double. Fiery down again. I mean, they've been finding the kills on Fiery so consistently between the banishes from Daftgrass, the damage from Double, especially now that he has Big Fish, all that extra area coverage. Flip goes out from Double. Good patience, but Maddie is right there to save it. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to hold the barrier for that much longer. It goes down. He's staggered. Looks like Double is playing to kill him. Doesn't seem like Double has the cooldowns up to do so, though. Bit of a bluff, I think. Mystic with the flip out. Can he do it? He does. What a blink flip combo. I mean, unfortunate for PP Legends there, but a good match for both teams. They're going to draw this one out.
Yeah, as is the Comeback Kings namesake. They ran the comeback all the way back for a reverse 3-1 in sets from last set being 3-1 sets in PPL's favor. So congratulations to the Comeback Kings. They're great play from everyone. I do want to say Double becoming this like almost pseudo tank, yet also zipping all the way across the screen and like dumping damage output and also securing goals became like single-handedly the massive game changer here for on the side of the Comeback Kings. It was like early on, it kind of felt like, again, not that much impact, but the big thing was that Fiery and Wook were still able to secure a lot more KOs more consistently because there wasn't a lot of awakenings on board on the side of Comeback Kings to stop that from happening. But the moment that you let Double especially start scaling, Fiery and Wook could not kill anyone. It was just 0 KOs going out from those guys. And from there, they're getting, bullied around, they're taking way too much damage, getting staggered way too often. They just could not respond to Comeback King and specifically Double's pressure to even make anything happen at all. And of course, that's why the core was always in the favor and possession of the Comeback Kings, and they ran it all the way to the end.
I mean, absolutely. As you mentioned, the Zentaro scaling really played a huge difference. Ironically, we were talking about the IME, but we did not see the IME turret really make much of that. Was a lot of that was just on Double getting those trainings and then being able to capitalize off of that huge advantage he had as a melee striker, the stack speed, being able to chase down on a map that's very open, usually hard for brawlers to play on. The range from the dash trainings, everything he wanted, he got, and he definitely made very, very good use of that. Incredible stuff from both teams there, though. It was definitely not like a dominant sweep or anything in any point.
Yeah, it's definitely a nail biter, as you said, keeping it back and forth. The cat fight, even of just scrambling to get 1 point, scrambling to get a set, and then suddenly we're gonna start steamrolling and getting a bunch of awakenings to push forward. It's oh my goodness, what an incredible set we had there from both these guys. And of course, both these guys are on the relegation side of things. Still here, these bottom 3 seeds. We could have seen potentially PPL tied up in record for a 1-1-5 on both sides here. But instead, we're going to see CBK walk away with a 1-2-4 and a 0-2-5 for PPL instead. That being the 2 they're able to tie up. They unfortunately were not able to secure a single set for themselves, but they aren't the only team in this league that weren't able to secure for themselves, as TN4S also has not able to pick up a victory just yet, and they will be on our next match up against Finesse. So that's also going to be pretty crazy here. Finesse currently sitting very pretty in top 3 with a 3-3-0 record, 3 wins and 3 ties, while TN4S almost the complete mirror to them with an 0-3-3 with 0 wins, 3 ties, and 3 losses. Lots of notable players, lots of great people here on both sides, and I am super excited to see what's coming for us. But before we do that, we're gonna throw it over to the analyst desk, and you guys gotta see what's coming. It's gonna be fantastic. We'll see you soon.
All right, another quick little analyst desk with the one and only Coach Yoki, and this time PP Legends versus Comeback Kings. So first off, Fire Up Infinite. Well, Fire Up starting. Yeah.
Fire Up Start is new, obviously. It's one of the new awakenings that was added this week. And the thing about Fire Up is whenever you use your core flip, it refunds 30% of max energy to your teammates, which is like 22 and a half. So if both of your teammates use their core flip, that means you get 45 energy and 75 is core flip. So every time your teammates core flip, that's halfway to core flip for you. And so we see like from the very start of this game, whoops, there we go. Just look at the core flip usage. So we have, also what Fire Up does is it gives you 10 energy on start. So at this beginning of this round, Comeback Kings had no core flips yet, which means that they have all of the energy to still give to their teammates, and then they got the plus 10 energy from the start of this round. So they basically start this round having almost 4 core flips. So we see Double get his first, and then wisely instantly uses it because you want to use it early so that your teammates get their energy. Like they get the bonus that you give them of your energy. So then that gives that gives 40% speed for 5 seconds, I believe. And while Comeback Kings doesn't use that full 5 seconds, Mystic then early flips, and we see Double is already at above a bar. So that's the 22, or this is 25. So Double from his like core flip, he's already gained like a bit extra. And then we have Daftgrass's core flip. So Double almost already has his next. And they're just fast the whole round. If you watch in full speed, Comeback Kings just have infinite speed, and they almost cycled instantly in the first 10 seconds a 4th core flip. And so what I believe kind of made a pretty big difference in this match was because Walk was on Rune, it did force a lot of instances where Comeback Kings were not able to get their first core flip from a player. As we see here, Walk is able to banish double BO3, double, as he prefers to be called. And then whenever double is banished, it forces Mystic to rotate and leave this bottom position to the top side to apply any kind of scoring pressure. Whenever Mystic rotates, it now opens up the entire bottom lane for Maddie to get a clear and transition onto offense with Fiery. So then whenever Maddie gets this clear, because Mystic and Double were both banished and positioned topside, they have to make this rotation. Otherwise, they are late to access bottom lane by doing a safer rotation, and that's what set Fiery up for this double KO. And then, unfortunately, Daft was slightly out of position for the core flip there. So then we have the third draft where Fiery was first pick, able to pick up Egoist. And Egoist is going to give Fiery a 15 energy refund after his own core flip. So we have the 45 that his teammates given to him, plus the 15 of his own, which then puts Fiery at 60 out of 75 energy towards core flip every time Fiery uses core flip, and then his teammates use core flip. And then after Fiery uses core flip, after his teammates, then he's redistributing the energy back into his teammates. So essentially, because of this egoist pick, Fiery is acting like a freaking energy battery to provide his teammates core flips. And in my opinion, they could have done a much better job at this. And we'll see that here where, well, actually, it's a little bit longer round, but good save by Maddie there. But then watch whenever Maddie gets his core flip here. It was just 75 energy was just reached. So if Maddie core flipped on that frame, okay, instead of striking, if Maddie instead used core flip, it would have given Fiery core flip, would have put Walk above 1 bar, and then would have given Walk and Fiery the 40% energy for 5 seconds to transition onto offense. Then once the core and Fiery are positioned on offense, if Fiery used core flip from an offensive position, it would have redistributed energy back into Fiery's teammates, putting Walk only like 20 energy off of having flip himself. So I feel like that it could have been a little bit more efficient, because whenever Maddie does eventually end up using core flip, Fiery has already gained energy and is not getting the full distribution from Maddie that Maddie could be providing to Fiery. So you see 22.5 is like this much roughly. So Fiery is like a little bit overcharged, I mean. And then the casters did say that like this core flip might not have been necessary, but if Fiery does not use core flip here, even if it wasn't needed, if Fiery does not use core flip, he does not gain access to the 15 energy refund from Egoist and the 10 energy refund from Fire Up. And then he's also not giving the 22 energy to his teammates. So it's really, really smart that Fiery did use core flip here, because it was actually like an even distribution of energy. Like basically a almost 100% refund from using his core flip that round to secure. And then the last draft of the game was, as the casters refer to, the nail in the coffin, where it's a Catalyst Infinite. And I'm honestly, with what we've talked about so far, really curious, I guess you could say, seeing where the meta goes. I kind of figured that every single player in the entire game would draft Catalyst, because if it's a Catalyst draft, you're just feeding into your teammates, and it's the most like synergistic option possible, where you're permanently giving your teammates 40% speed. So I that's how I felt about game 1. And then game 2, we had really it was interesting. Daftgrass being on Rune, goalie allowed his forwards to secure a lot of like KOs off the back of his banishes. But specifically, what I want to look at with this clip was Double versus Estelle has a much more favorable 1v1 forward matchup than Juliet into Rune. And so we see like a checkmate position there from Double versus how the Juliet matched up against the Rune in game 2, where as soon as Fiery is trying to position on offense, he gets banished near the edge, combo KO'd, and then we see later in the same clip, once Fiery has possession, is looking for offense, a Rune Pillar is easily able to be placed, and Fiery cannot dash punch to gain possession here, so it has to clear top side back into Daftgrass's possession. And whenever Fiery gets possession again down here, another pillar just completely denies any offense that Fiery can have. So I like the Rune pick into the Juliet, and the Zentaro is favorable into the Estelle, and that's why I think Comeback Kings did come back in game 2.
All right, thank you, Yoki. As always, I'll throw it back to Combo and Fem Bison, as we are very close to the next best of 2.